welcome to the Wimlex Show, episode number 32. Today our guest is Thijs Verheul. He's the founder of United Wardrobe, a very interesting marketplace for second-hand fashion. You might have heard about his biggest competitor, Vinted, who became a unicorn only 2 weeks ago. And we are talking about what made United Wardrobe so successful in the Netherlands during the last years, why he is exporting his business into France and other countries, and how is he going to win the marketplace race. Is it going to be won by just spending more money than all the others, like Vinted is doing it right now, or are there more special components for the success of United Wardrobe? I think Thijs has a very good answer to all these questions, and as a co-moderator in this episode, I had Wilhelm Bloem, also host of the Wimlex podcast in Amsterdam, and it was a very, very entertaining 45 minutes talk. Of course, we've talked about technology, as I'm the founder and co-CEO of Spryker Systems, the e-commerce software everybody's talking about right now, also in the Netherlands. But now have fun with Thijs and all the questions regards United Wardrobe.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Wimlex podcast. Today Alexander and myself, Willem, are joined by Thijs Verheul. Thijs Verheul is the founder of United Wardrobe. He started it as a second-hand marketplace for fashion around 6 years ago.
Yes.
Thijs, welcome to the show.
Welcome everybody.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Thijs Verheul. I started studying in Wageningen business and consumption studies at the University of Agriculture in the Netherlands. Before that, I was a ski teacher. I really didn't know what I had to do with my life. I started law here in Utrecht for 2 weeks. I quit that study because law was nothing for me. And then I became a ski teacher in Austria. It was a really fun time, 6 months of joy and skiing. And then back to reality, started my study, and yeah, from moment one I realized again that studying was like nothing for me. But I kept on doing it, and I met Jules Berde, and he just told me, hey Thijs, I have 3 sisters. They have like a shitload of clothes. They can't get rid of it. They are on marktplaats.nl. There they get scammed. They're on Facebook groups. There they got scammed. They only want to get rid of their clothes ASAP, but they also want to buy a shitload of second-hand clothes. And I was like, Jules, you got already marktplaats.nl, you got Facebook groups, why should we build this app? And for 4 months he kept on like hammering, we have to build this app, we have to build this app. And at one point I was like, okay, fuck you, Jules, I'm gonna fix a designer, we're gonna make some designs. Then we found to have a developer, and we're just gonna release this MVP, see what it does. If it's nothing, we're gonna quit it in a week. And if it's something, we just go on. So I went to Arnhem, to the Hogeschool. It's like you have a study there for designers, and I went on asking people, hey, can you design? Can you design? And then this one guy popped up, Jan, and he was like, yeah, I can do design, and I can do it for 50 euros an hour. And I was like, oh, it's a lot of money. I went back to my student home. I posted on my Facebook, hey, does anybody know a designer? Because I have this great idea, United Wardrobe, become the biggest wardrobe in the world. One of my friends called me like, hey, I've got a new roomie and he's a designer. So I went to his home, and it was literally the same guy I spoke in Arnhem, Jan, and he just told me, okay, guy, this is such an amazing coincidence, let's just do it. We spent around 16 evenings at the university, just with a beamer on a wall. We told Jan where we wanted to have buttons. It was like a really weird way of designing. We got the first design. Then we found a guy, Thijs Slijkhuis, who was also studying in Wageningen, to build the first MVP, just the website. It was done in around 3 months, and on the 15th of January 2014, we launched together with the help from the Wageningen University. They gave us 7.5k for the first project. We sent out a press release, and yeah, the first day we had 500 users. And at that point, I really thought like, okay, I'm just going to launch this platform, and then I'm just going to do my study, and it will grow organically, and I will become very rich, and I don't have to do nothing. And that's really, at that time, as a young student, I was around 21, thought how IT companies worked. You just build Facebook, and then it's online, and then it grows for itself. That was not the case. immediately from the first day we thought, okay, we need to have an iOS app, we need to have an Android app, people could use PayPal, and like we had a sick ass backlog. We took the project really seriously. We had 500 registrations at the first day. I bought something for my mom, I bought something for my friends in Amsterdam, and then all of a sudden, after being online for 5 hours, we saw the first transactions coming in. So from people that we didn't know. So like girls from Groningen were buying fashion from girls from Rotterdam. And we're like, does anybody know these people? And like, people are using really the platform. What the fuck?
It was only due to word of mouth.
Yeah, we used we had a Facebook page. Before we went live, we had 2,000 likes on the Facebook page. The Wageningen University sent out a press release for us. I really had to hustle hard to get that going, because the Wageningen University was like, this has nothing to do with agriculture, and okay, it's sustainable, so because you're cool students, we can do it. But it was just like, getting likes on a Facebook page, getting the university to back us.
It was the good old time of organic reach at Facebook. So I see tears on Willem's face. Today, 2,000 likes mean you maybe get like 1 or 2 subscribers in such an app. So that's crazy.
Yeah, it was around 6 years ago. Facebook was the platform for young people. Nowadays, it's Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. If you now have 2,000 likes and you have 100 people that see your post, it would be great. But me and Jules saw really traction on this platform, so we moved to Amsterdam, to the UvA, to do a minor programming. We really thought, okay, we're going to become developers ourselves and build the whole platform ourselves, because that was the big problem. We needed developers to speed up the process. But it didn't work out. Thijs kept on building and building. We kept on growing from like 10 to 20 transactions a day to 30 transactions a day. And then one day we had 100 transactions a day. Still can remember the day. And then it was like booming organically. We found out that, people just loved the product. They found the business model very acceptable. So at United Wardrobe, if you sell an item, you pay 10% commission. And as a buyer, you pay $1.99 and you pay for the shipping cost. So the business model is two-sided. We get 10% of the sellers and $1.99 plus a commission on the labels for the buyers. And this was a solid model. We, like from day one, we were making money, so we could immediately invest it in Facebook marketing, in influencer marketing, in paying Thijs as a developer in late hours. And I think for 2 years, me and Jules never got €1 from the company. When we got the first investment, there were 2 guys from Brabant, Tommy and Duco, really cool entrepreneurs. They did not really had like a click with tech companies, but we had like a really big Volkskrant article written about us. And then from that moment, we got called by a ton of investors. They already saw that we had good traction in the Netherlands, and we fixed our first angel round. Then things become really seriously. We could hire really real developers, hire a customer support team, scale the business in Belgium. From that story on, we just kept on A/B testing, scaling, building a team, getting a new investment round from P Capital and Arthur Kosten, and just really learning how the C2C fashion market evolves, because it's a really high competitive market. We have in the Netherlands Facebook groups, we have Marktplaats.nl, we have Vestiaire Collectief, we have The Next Closet, we have Vinted, and how can you give value to your users in such a competitive marketplace? We really found out like the key and the secret mix to that, and we were just building around that niche for now, and that's still the track that we're on.
What do you think is the overall market volume for used fashion in the Netherlands?
I think in terms of GMV, it's really hard to say, because it's like there's not a lot of data about it. But if you look at what Vinted is doing in France, so they sell for around $1 billion. A milliard is $1 billion, right? Yeah. They sell for like $1 billion GMV. The Dutch people make more money, so I think somewhere between 400 million GMV in the Netherlands should be reachable and is, I think, the value that got online, because there's also a huge market offline. If you look at the flea markets.
Okay, so you would say the overall market, including offline market, flea market, and secondhand stores, that's probably in the billions.
In the Netherlands only, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and where are you today? Just in terms to get some numbers.
Can I tell the GMV of what we're doing right now? Yeah, we sell 100,000 products every month. That's like the figure that we're on right now. Can't tell much about GMV because it's a really competitive landscape, and I think my investors and my shareholders won't like if I share these real numbers. But we do 100,000 transactions every month, and that's growing.
And with that, you're the market leader in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands, we are the market leader in fashion. We're bigger than Marktplaats.nl, still bigger than Vinted, still bigger than the next closet.
Is there like a regional lock-in to this business? Is it easy, like for an outside business like Vinted, to grab your customers, or because customers are willing to buy stuff, used stuff from Berlin, sent into Rotterdam, or is it like a local market where it's hard to break in?
It's still really difficult to say that. If we look at for example, our expansion in France. So we launched France for I think 1.5 years ago. Really took France seriously and went on spending there, and we immediately saw it was totally different than doing marketing in the Netherlands, because in France people already use Vinted for 9 years and they are freaking huge. They are as huge as Instagram in France. So we started with marketing, and when we were doing marketing in the Netherlands, we saw that the customer acquisition costs were really low, and that people just adapt and have this feeling from, hey, whoa, this new app to sell fashion and buy fashion, so cool, better than Marktplaats. Where in France, people already used Vinted compared to Le Bon Coin, that's their marketplace, and they were like, oh, cool, this is like Vinted, but then for fashion. Oh, cool, but I also use Vinted to do this and this, but I use United Wardrobe for this and this and this. So we had to find a whole another niche of really more hipster stuff, really more brand stuff than we're doing in the Netherlands.
And if are you able to describe the standard customer journey? I understood from what I saw at United Wardrobe, it's primarily female fashion. So how do you find a new customer? On the one side, a new supplier. Where do you find her? Today, how much stuff is she uploading in the first batch? Is she loyal? Is she sticky to the platform? And what kind of business can she expect?
Yeah. So, for example, you come to hockey training. There's this one girl saying, hey, I just bought these Nikes from this United Wardrobe app. Super cool. Bought them for €50. And then you are okay, what is this app? So you download the app, or you get an invite link from her for €5 discount. You open the app and you immediately see that it's totally different than anything else if you expected Marktplaats or Facebook groups. So you can scroll through an immense load of fashion. We have 1.5 million products, and we have a feed running there. So for everybody that opens our app and logs in, almost 75% comes back the next day, because they are addicted to this scrolling. They know that from Instagram, they know that from other apps, and it's our mission to have this feed as relevant as possible. So you need to see products for the right prices, from the right brands, from the right people. You can follow other people on the platform. And the most sticky, loyal users, they upload a product. So they try to sell something, and if somebody lists a product, the chance that he also buys is 70%. So 70% of all products that sell on our platform also buy on the platform. And if a user gets logged in by placing a product, they will get reactions on the product. They will maybe sell the product. They add new pictures or whatever. And they're constantly active on this app. So it's our mission to get people placing products, stay on the app, and have marketing campaigns to get them constantly back to the app to have their...
But is then the average user using the app on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Looking up for stuff?
Yeah. I think of our core user base, around 60% uses daily.
Could you say something about the age brackets? Because male, female, you said it's predominantly female.
It's female.
In age groups?
16 to 24 is the biggest cohort. Okay. So 16 to 24 is around 65% of our user base. Mm. And we just launched United Wardrobe Kids Clothes because in the Netherlands we are like stuffed with young girls, and we really saw that the early mommies also wanted to sell their clothes. They emailed us like, hey, how can I sell my baby clothes on United Wardrobe? There's no categories. And we're like, okay, yeah, we have to build it. And a month ago we launched United Wardrobe Kids Clothes. And we immediately saw that like all these mommies already tried and list their products, and we now have to figure out how to get this whole mommy marketplace going in the Netherlands. That's like the core thing in the Netherlands.
Okay, and wouldn't you say that if there's like users using your app every day, those users are really sticky? So those users, they don't have an incentive to download the Vinted app or to download the Vestiaire app or the other ones. Now I've seen in Germany at least there's the Zalando wardrobe service going on, where like and Zalando is I think big in the Netherlands too. They're allowing users to sell stuff they have bought at Zalando. I think stuff you bought within the last 24 months are listed automatically in such an app. Isn't that like a big danger that dominant online retailers are getting into the space, or would you say no, they only can get a tiny bracket of the market?
I think it's a tiny bracket because these guys don't know really how to build a platform that's also really social, because we get like high interaction amongst followers. So just like on Instagram, people build following on our app. We have users with 200k following. Every time they place a product, 200k people get this notification. So for example, if Zalando will do this same thing in the Netherlands, they first have to go through an acquisition of like 4.5 million people to get over our volumes. I think that is not impossible, but super hard. If you now look at how Vinted is trying to enter the Dutch market, and you see the difficulty they have and the ad spend they already had, and I think they are just like, they widen up the market. So for example, if you look at Google Trends data to see how many people Google on secondhand clothing, it's never been this big as now in the Netherlands, because Vinted is doing TV ad and activates people that are not busy with secondhand clothing. They now see, oh, Vinted is also on the television. They download the app. They also see our app as recommended. They upload some items on Vinted. They don't sell all their items. They also upload it at us, at Marktplaats, and just the place where you can sell your fashion the quickest will win eventually in this market. So it's not impossible for Zalando to enter this market, but it's super difficult and costly.
And is it a game that can be won by money? So you've mastered the marketplace game so far without huge amounts of money. So you needed money, external money, but not like 50 million to enter the marketplace. So is it possible? And you've said you have 1.5 million products on your platform, and how many users?
We have almost 4 million registered users and around 150 to 200k active daily users.
Okay, and how many of those users are registered from the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands we have around 3 million registrations.
Okay, but then you have like almost 100% coverage from the supplier side of a lot of products, and from a demand side. And then I'm questioning a little bit, like from an outside perspective, is it something I can break up with money? So what would convince a user to go to another marketplace apart from giving him vouchers? So please download this app. You have 100 euros, and then you can buy everything for free. So that is stuff I can imagine, but Vinted or Vestiaire Collective or others, they couldn't get more products on the platform in a reasonable time. Or could they?
No. Like, of course, we live in a capitalistic society. You can do a lot with money, but you can't do anything with money. If you now look what Vinted is doing in the Dutch market, and literally when it was June and they started with their TV ads, me and Jules were like, okay, what the fuck is happening? They are now launching in the Netherlands, our main market. Okay, the game is really on. What the fuck is gonna happen? And we were, first week, we were like totally stressed. We're like, okay, what the fuck? Our competitor, they have like a shitload of money. They just raised 50 million. Okay, what should we do? Yeah, what can we do next to just building the perfect product, maintaining our users, looking at real data? Don't listen to people that say, oh, I saw Vinted on the telly, because everybody nowadays tells me like, oh, I just saw a Vinted on the telly. Don't you have a lot of competition now, you know? So we just said, okay, fuck it. We're just gonna tunnel vision, focus on our product, have the best experience, have the best shipping labels, the best shipping integration, the best prices, and see where it goes from there. And we really saw that winter came really early this season, and we had a real good traction on winter clothes. And we outperformed our business model in September and October by around 16 to 70%. So we really made money, like green numbers. That was not happening since like 3 years, because we were like burning money, getting new markets open, and we really focused on becoming like having this positive model running for us. And we really saw that Vinted, the people that registered on Vinted, also were listing at our platform. Like we had like tons of organic registrations of people, like thousands of Dutch registrations coming from these TV ads, because these people download the Vinted app, they talk about selling fashion, their friends recommend, oh, maybe you should also try United Wardrobe, and they also list at our platform. So we were like, okay, maybe we should call Vinted and tell them to do more TV ads. But in the end of the day, we will see what happens, because they really are spending, and we of course see that also some of our users use their platform. It's a synergy. We really want to stay focused on this core audience, and they really have to spend, like, I think to reach these volumes in the Netherlands, they, I think, have to spend what they already spent for tenfold, and it's just not feasible. If there's already a marketplace, we will always stay there. Even if we spend zero amount of marketing money and they will spend like 10 million every month, we will still be a place to sell fashion, because it just works. And if these young girls, they know like, okay, last summer I sold this on United Wardrobe, I'm just also going to try it.
Let's talk numbers a little bit more, because what fascinated me is that you said that you have around 3 million users in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And if your target audience is female, 16 to 24, probably you have 100% or almost 100% adoption rate?
Yeah, around 75% of the people are registered in that age
So
group.
looking at how to earn more money, it's probably your marketing efforts probably are also focused on user retention.
Yeah.
And with that, personalization is important, knowing what customers will buy next.
Yeah.
So how does your retention strategy look like? And what kind of data models are you using to personalize their feeds and the customer experience when they are on your app?
Yeah. So we have a collaborative filtering model. It works like this. So for example, you looked for a Nike Air Force size 39 white in new state for around €120. You clicked on that product, and our collaborative filtering model makes a map of around 40 products that are similar to that product and serves that in the feed and in your sales results. We really saw the feed improve by around 4% while implementing that model. Okay. We also look at, okay, where is this user searching for? So for example, if you search on Stone Island on the platform, we know people that buy Stone Island also prefer to buy Nike, Carhartt, Adidas, and some other street fashion brands. And people that buy Dior purses also tend to buy Louis Vuitton things. So we really connect users to each other. We also have this thing called Your Fashion Twin. So we look at what kind of products has this user searched for and looked up. Okay, we match these 100 products with somebody that has the same age, the same size, the same preferences, and we serve out 100 products that person likes that are not inside of the 100 products of the other fashion twin. So we're constantly matching users together. But the main KPI is the percentage from registration to first-time buyer and the registration to first-time product placer. And eventually that results in a success rate of selling. And we see that like steadily improve over time. And if the success rate of selling improves, we see also the value of the transaction improves. So I can't talk really numbers because then people can figure out our GMV and blah, blah, blah. But we really see that because people trust United Wardrobe, they already bought like 6 products of around 40 euros. They tend to also buy products for 120 euro because they trust the platform more and more.
And how do you establish these algorithms that calculate scores and give lookalike products a favorable rating in somebody's app? Do you have a data science team here, or do you work with off-the-shelf machine learning solutions?
So hopefully I won't make any errors because it's not my daily business to do this. But we have Frederik Hemming. He's doing he's the head of our data. He works for TicketSwap. He works for Treatwell, and he has all his data in Looker. And in Looker has a direct connection to our Redshift database. And in our Redshift database, there are these algorithms running, and they're pumping the data to Looker. And we can see real time how they perform, and we can toggle these metrics. So we can say, okay, we want a bit more Nike in your algorithm, or we want a bit more Louis Vuitton, or a bit more products that match other users. And this model is filled and also a component is this collaborative filtering model. But deeper than that, it's not really my
impression. So it's AWS for the hosting, Redshift probably, and then Looker for the BI and audiences and segmentation modeling.
Yeah, and I really love those tools. They are super easy. I'm not that tech. I know how to code a bit, but these are just like super handy tools. There's a lot of stuff on GitHub to read about if you don't understand anything. And
by the way, Looker just got acquired by Google for 2 billion euros.
Yeah,
so
super
safe bet probably. Yeah. Maybe they will call you up to start using Google Cloud and TensorFlow and the other cool stuff Google is offering. But
we now use Amazon because our investors also have a good deal with Amazon, and when we got our funding, we also had a lot of credit on Amazon. So that's.
I have a question: how you process the transactions? You don't let them ship to your office, right? So it's a real C2C transaction. And, in Germany, I think the most popular marketplace is the
Kleiderkreisel?
No, not for fashion maybe, but for stuff to sell is eBay Kleinanzeigen, so the eBay marketplace. And there's I think there's 1,000 memes going on eBay Kleinanzeigen when it comes to how people are acting and communicating on the app. They're not answering. They are always asking for discounts. Or they're behaving really, really bad. Yeah. So if Willem was putting his mobile phone for a good price on there, in the next 10 seconds, you will have 5 people asking if they could get it for free because they're nice. And isn't that a challenge on your platform too, that people don't behave as you expected, because it always falls back to you, right? It's part of your reputation management, because people are putting on stuff they don't own maybe, or the quality is not as good as they state in the comments. How do you manage that?
So in a perfect world, around I think now 88% of the transactions goes like this. So a user sees a product listed for a certain price. They put it in their basket. They pay the product. As a seller, you will receive a shipping label. You walk to PostNL. You don't have to print any label. You just scan in the app. They post something on your product. You ship it within 3 days. That's also, our users ship very fast because they want their money. They ship the product. You get it on your floor. You pack the product out. The seller says, hey, can you please approve it if it's all good? You say, okay, all good. And after 24 hours, we pay out 90%. Around 88% of our transactions go like this. We also have a model where people can bid on products. So, for example, I see you listed some Nike sneakers for €100. I'm like, not sure. I bid €80. And you see this coming in, €80. Yeah, that's cool, but I can counter bid €85. You fill in counter bid 85, and if you accept it, you can immediately pay it. So we don't have these annoying things going on where you have to email people and have to talk about price. It's just like a system to bid, and people really love it, because if you receive a bid on Marktplaats.nl or on Vinted, it's just a bid. Like only, I think, 20% of these bids are really serious, like people trying to get things for really low amounts of money. So you can also only bid for 75% of the price that a user asks. So if you ask €100, I can minimal do a bid of €75. And we really see that users love this system, because it's like no hassle, no weird communication, no calling, no emailing, just stays on one app. What was the question again? Sorry.
How do you manage bad behavior for both sides, buyers and sellers?
So, for example, you list a product, I do the transaction, I buy it from you, and you don't ship it. And you don't react and comment, or what the fuck, I paid. Then I can just go to the order page, I say cancel transaction, and if you don't react in 48 hours on that cancellation request, it got immediately cancelled if you not shipped the product yet. So if you used your shipping label, we know where your product is, then you cannot cancel the order, of course, or otherwise people can just order a shitload of items, then cancel anything, get their money back and their products. So there's a security in that. So if you don't react on me, I just cancel the order myself, you get a bad review, and I get my money back within 24 hours. If you sell a product that is dirty, if you sell a product that is not real, if you sell a product in the wrong size, if you sell a product with photos that not is matching the photos, and I receive that product from you, you can take one picture and send in a return request. So for example, I buy Nike from you in size 41, you ship the product, I get them home, they're dirty and they're size 40. Then I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Put it in the box again, return request, ship it back, get all my money back. And our team of customer support is handling these requests. So they're really looking at, okay, what is this user done in the past? Is this the user we can trust? Is it really true that they can ship it back? Because it's secondhand fashion and it's not normal clothes, so there's no policy on returning. But we give our users this added value by giving them the customer support that if they buy something and it's not real, it's not on, it's dirty, it's not the same size, it's not what it is on the photo, then you can ship it back. Otherwise, if you just buy something and it's not really what you expect it to be, then you cannot ship it back.
So using a radio system where sellers and buyers are getting like a star rating, like you're a 5-star seller, so most probably all the products you're selling are really there.
Yeah, we have users that have over 1,500 5-stars and ratings.
And in Germany, we're discussing now a lot of stuff going on with Chinese sellers on eBay and Amazon doing like fraudulent offers, and in general try to do fraud on marketplaces. Do you see that a lot on
we have a fraud protection system. So we have certain users that say, hey, my number is this. Can you please WhatsApp me, and then I will send you a tikkie, for example. Or, hey, can you please send me... tikkie is... how would you explain this? Okay, it's like, so we had food together and I paid €30, then I send you a tikkie of €15, you pay it, I get the money. But there is now on tikkie, there's just like all the people that were scamming on Marktplaats now jumped on tikkie, and they have built like 100 different websites that like tick key with only 1k.nl, and then they also made like modules for this. It's like super scammy shizzle. So these off-platform transactions, how we call them, in the beginning of United Wardrobe, we had a lot of trouble because people didn't trust it, United Wardrobe yet. Trust is also one of the most important components of a marketplace. And they, all were doing sales like via Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So we have a model running to control that. So, for example, if you say, hey, please contact me off this platform, we see it in our customer support and we can look this user up. And we immediately block these messages. Just on Airbnb, if you want to send a number, you have the same model, and that's just to keep these users safe. And we also, if you look at a product page, you also see never give your phone number or any credentials to other parties. Please use our system. But people are people, and people will always try to get an even better bargain. And that's at their risk. If they use our platform, everything is safe. If they go communicating outside the platform, we cannot guarantee anything.
Maybe final question before wrapping up this very interesting interview with you. I saw that you also opened an outlet.
Yeah.
You're an online marketplace.
Yeah.
Going offline. I think that's a strategy that...
No, it's still online. It's still online.
Oh, it's an online...
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, problem number one, not everybody is selling all their clothes. Just like, it's impossible, of course. There's no marketplace that sells everything. Yeah. There's a certain percentage of products that get listed, that get sold. And we really wanted to fix that problem. We really wanted to up those numbers and to make people happy. Okay. So after you placed your products for 3 days on United Wardrobe, you get the option to place them in our outlet, and we determine the prices in the outlet. So for example, we know which products sell for which prices. Yeah. You list your Nikes for €100, and we're just going to tell you, okay, you can list them for €40 in the outlet. Then they get extra exposure to all the users, because every day we send push notifications to users. Hey, the outlet is open, and every day it goes open. Yeah. Your products are in there for 3 days. They get super, like a triple the exposure as normally, and you can just clear out your whole closet. That's why we built the outlet. Okay. It really sounds like an offline thing, but it's just a section on the website and in the app.
And do you then cooperate also with, say, the flea markets and all the shops in the street that also sell secondhand? Because I can imagine that you could be an extension of their business.
Yeah, and we are.
All right.
We see this behavior more and more, like professional parties selling on our platform. United Wardrobe was built for consumers, but we are now also seeing some interesting pivots in these marketplaces, also in returns. So I'm talking to the guys of Returnista, and there's this guy from Buy Bay coming to the office, and because we had this idea, so what if you want to return a product on, for example, Zalando, and you can choose to return it or immediately place it at United Wardrobe and try to sell it yourself, plus get some extra from Zalando or whatever. And if we can reduce the return rate of Zalando by like 3%, we can save them millions. Yeah. So it's a really interesting business model.
Would they then become a reseller and being marked on your websites, say this is a professional party behind it, like bol.com is doing?
No, it really works like this. So you bought a pair of Dr. Martens. You're like, not really my thing. I want to return it. And you are on the return page of Zalando, and you see there, okay, click here to get a shipping label and return it, or click here and get an offer of like €450 extra or whatever, and put it yourself on United Wardrobe and keep the product. So then we're going to offer the consumer the option just to keep his return, try to sell it themselves, and get an extra offer. And what that extra offer is and how quick we can get it on our platform, because we have all the photos and the data, so within one click they can post it on our platform. They won't get the retail price, but if it matches the offer they can get, maybe Zalando can save a lot of returns. And if only 1% of the returns does this, it's already huge. Because of course, 90% of the people will just think, I want my money back. But maybe like a percentage of people will think, I'm just going to listen myself, get this cool offer, maybe €50 extra shopping credit or whatever. Because if Zalando can cancel a return, they can make like a lot of money. So yeah, we're really looking at this new model. And to get this going, we really need parties to help us. They're already big, so for example, ASOS or Zalando. But there is really interesting things going on there. And we have to do that because we have to be different than Vinted, be different than Marktplaats.nl. Otherwise you won't survive. And we've always done this by building this bidding model, building this UPS label shipping integration, building a feed for our users, and adding value to our product, because if we just stay the same and we don't adopt every fucking month or every sprint of 14 days, we just become eaten by competition. And our competition had shitloads of money. We are super capital efficient and we have to stay that way. So every euro we spend, every user we get in, we have to treat with gloves and just let them become paying users. I think that's really important for us.
Very cool. My very last question in this podcast, everybody gets it, is for 2020, and it's cool that we are in December 19.
Yeah.
What is your biggest project or your biggest thing you're looking forward to?
I think at United Wardrobe, if we can really make a marketplace where also young parents love to buy and sell, if we can get that going, I would be really, really happy.
Why do you think this is not possible by just adding another category?
It's a different user. It's a whole different user. It's a user that has money, expects way more from us. They're buying clothes from their children, and that's such an other thing than buying clothes for yourself. And also crack open the French market by giving a thing that the French user cannot get from Vinted. So really a personalized selection of selected clothes, not just only user-generated content, but like really carefully selected clothes, just matching your needs. If we can do that, and we see it more and more and more, plus we also adapt our model. So we're going to adapt our model to the French market. And if we can crack the kids' clothes market in the Netherlands and crack the French market on building this perfectly hipster selling app that we are in France, and we are the only one that survived next to Vinted, because Vestiaire Collectif is having really trouble. Vide dressing got bought by Le Bon Coin and also has big troubles, and we are the only party that can survive next to Vinted as a fashion marketplace. I think then I'm really happy. It's going to be a tough cookie.
I hope you liked this episode, and I hope you will listen to the next ones. Most probably the next ones are going to be recorded in Stockholm, because our third moderator, Lena Hackeler, was able to get some very, very interesting guests from the Swedish market for Wimlex. We're going to meet them in early January, so you will hear from us again in January. Until then, have a good Christmas time and a happy New Year.